So yeah, we're 2F today, intersection of functions. It's going to be a two-parter. We're just going to start with some nice algebra. So again, bringing everything we sort of done together, and then we're going to have a look at some more complex ones that bring the discriminant in as well. So first half of the lesson, we're just going to go through the example one and questions similar to that. And then in the second half of the lesson, they're going to get a little bit more complex. So for our purposes, we're only talking about when a quadratic, okay, a parabola meets the equation of a line, a straight line. That's all we are talking about. And we have three possible ways that can occur. So I've illustrated them for you on the notes book. We have where they cut, okay, or up here, we can see the quadratic, and it cuts, the line cuts the quadratic twice, okay. We can have what is called tangent, okay, and tangent is where it is touching. And that's a special case because what's going on there is they have the same slope at that point. They are parallel where they touch. And so there's only one point of intersection, one solution. And then there's the case where there's no solutions, where they don't intersect. So between a quadratic and a line, it's going to satisfy one of these three possible circumstances. Okay, so let's get straight into it. It says find the point of intersection between x squared take 5x plus 6 and 2x take 4. So it says find when f of x meets g of x. Now these are going to meet when they are equal to one another. Okay? So our first step is just to make the two functions equal to one another. Next, what we want to do is we want to bring everything to the left-hand side so that it's a quadratic that we can solve. All right, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides and add 4 to both sides. I'm going minus 2x plus 4. That's going to make this side 0. And over here, minus 2x. All right, let's write out the whole thing so it's not clear. It's clear. Minus 2x plus 4. All right, so all I've done is move that across. In our next step, we're going to collect like terms. So I'm looking along, which of these can I add together? I've got minus 5x and I've got minus 2x. And when I smash those together, I'm going to get minus 7x. Minus 5 lots of x, I'm combining it with minus 2 lots of x. That's going to give me minus 7 lots of x. And I have 6 plus 4. That's going to be positive 10. Okay? And so have a look at what we're doing here. We're saying the solutions to this equation, all right, we've moved that across, we've simplified it. The solutions to this equation here are the same as the solutions to this equation. And we know how to solve this one. This is a monic quadratic trinomial. We can solve it via factorization. We're looking for two numbers that multiply together to give you minus 10, positive 10, and when you add them together, you get minus 7. So minus 5 times minus 2 will give you positive 10, and minus 5 plus minus 2 will give you minus 7. So x take 5 times x take 2. Now we were recapping FOIL yesterday, right? One of the ways we could check if we factorise properly is to expand this. If we expand that, you're going to get exactly what we had above. So minus 5 times minus 2 adds to positive 10, and minus 5 plus minus 2 is minus 7. So then we'll apply the null factor law, right? We have x take 5 is 0, or x take 2 is 0. This gives the solution x is 5, and this gives the solution x is 2. All right, so this tells us we have 2 points of intersection. All right, so when we think about the possible circumstances with the line, it's either going to have 2 points of intersection, 1 point of intersection, or none. We've got 2 solutions, right? We've got 2 solutions, which means there are 2 points of intersection on the graph. So we've got x is 5 and x is 2. Now, the question says find the coordinates. So we've got an x value, we need to find the corresponding y value. And we're going to do that by taking both x values and substituting them into, which one should we put them in? How come? It's easier. It doesn't matter because remember they meet at these points, which means they have the same x and the same y value. It doesn't matter which one you substitute it into because at these values, they exist at the same point. They're going to have the same y value. And this, you don't even have to square anything. That's going to be much easier to put it into. So we're going to say when x is 5, g of x is going to be 2 times 5 take 4. So that's 10 take 4, 6. And when x is 2, g of x is 2 times 2 take 4, which is 0. And so therefore, f of x meets g of x at x is 5, y is 6, and x is 2, y is 0. Okay, so we can do that algebraically. Let's use our calculator. So can everyone please pull their calculator out? That's why I've spent my time getting the projector up here. We're looking at a calculator skill here. So we're going to go into the menu and we're going to go to the graph mode again. Menu to the graph. And we're going to type in both equations, f of x and g of x. So f of x is x squared, the first function, x squared, take 5x plus 6. And g of x is 2x take 4. All right, so we've got both y1 and y2. And remember, they're both highlighted. All right, the equal signs are highlighted, which means they're both going to be visible for us. Just wait a sec till everyone's caught up to that. Might sketch it on Desmos as well while you're doing that. It looks prettier on Desmos.
Yeah.
All right, so let's sketch them. And you might not be able to see it, so I've said what we should do is change our V window. So a couple of tricks. V window, standard, okay? And that's going to stretch it out, all right? F3 and then hit F3 again to set it to standard. And if we've all got the same V window, it's going to look the same for all of us. If you cannot see the graph, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. So if you can't see the graph, first set it to standard, and if you still can't see it, start increasing the size of the V window. We're going to have lots of examples to go through that together. Okay, so we can see here's the quadratic, and then here's the equation of the line, and we can see 2 points of intersection. In fact, our calculator can find them for us. G solve, and then ISCT, intersection. All right, x is 2, y is 0. That was one of our points of intersection. Press the across arrow. What's the other one? X is 5, y is 6. All right, so it looks nice and pretty on your calculator. They're nice and colourful. Up here you can see it nicely on Desmos as well. All right, those 2 points of intersection there. Splendid. Well, that's how it starts. Okay, so what do? You make the quadratic equal to the line. You move it across. All right, collect like terms. Find the values of x that make it true. Put those values of x into the function to find the corresponding y value. Use your calculator to help you out. All right, but we're particularly interested in the algebraic process. Okay, we want to see the mathematics perform. So let's have a go at that. First half of the lesson.